Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your News at 4. I'm Dottie Mercer-Plank along with Billie Jean Shaw. Today was day 17 of the Murdaugh murder trial, and testifying today was Marion Proctor, Maggie Murdaugh's sister.
Our Greg Adeline has been following the testimony and joins us live outside of Colleton County's courthouse. Greg, this is the first family member that we're hearing from who's related to Maggie, really humanizing her sister.
That's right, Billie Jean and Dottie. This was Maggie Murdaugh's only sister, and she gave some gripping testimony. In fact, it's underway right now. A lot of information coming out in that testimony about some of the events surrounding June the 7th, particularly her interactions with Alec Murdaugh after the murders. She's testifying right now, and this has been going on now for about 45 minutes. She testified a couple of things, saying that on the June the 7th, 2021, right around 4 p.m., that was the last time that she ever talked to her sister. She said that, Maggie said that Alec needed her home as his father was sick. Randolph Murdaugh was hospitalized, but at the time, all she knew was that he was sick. So Proctor was under the impression that both Maggie and Alec headed to his parents' house in Alameda on the night of June 7th. So she said that she was surprised when she later learned that only Alec went that night and that his ailing father wasn't even there. He, in fact, was visiting his mother, who has dementia. His father was in the hospital, so she was surprised that her sister didn't go with him. She also said that on June the 8th, she saw Alec at Moselle. They cried, they hugged, a grieving family certainly, but she testified that he told her that he never went to the kennels. Now, of course, that's something that has been refuted in that cell phone video from Paul's cell phone at 8:44, 5 minutes before prosecutors say the murders happened. And then she also said that they would later talk about the boat case. She and Alec Murdaugh would talk about it. Proctor testifying that Alec, to her, appeared more intent on clearing Paul's name, while her goal was to find the killer of Maggie and Paul. Proctor saying it seemed odd to her that he'd be thinking of anything else. And while Proctor said the family was afraid, she said that Alec didn't seem to be afraid at that time. But one of the most compelling moments was when he said something to her that struck her as odd on June the 8th. Take a listen.
And then later I asked him, I said, Alec, do you have any idea who's done this? I said, we have got to find out who could do this. And he said that he did not know who it was, but he felt like whoever did it had thought about it for a really long time.
Whoever had done it had thought about it for a really long time. Does that strike you as odd?
I just didn't know what that meant.
Now, under cross-examination that's happening right now, Jim Griffin stood up, the defense lawyer for Alec Murdaugh, and he himself got emotional, saying that it was not easy to cross-examine Marion Proctor, and he said that he also wanted to question her about Alec's priorities after the murders. He asked her some questions in regard to that, but Proctor doubled down, saying to her just how odd to her it seemed that he did not appear intent on finding out who committed those murders on June the 7th. Now, moments ago also, an in-camera hearing as some of the testimony started to head into another direction that defense lawyers did not want it to go. Proctor was talking about the roadside shooting that has not come up yet in this trial on September the 4th. Proctor saying that some of her attitudes changed after that roadside shooting because, at least at first, she felt as though, this is what was said in the in-camera hearing, she felt as though the family was being targeted, that perhaps whoever committed the murders on June the 7th was also after Alec Murdaugh on September the 4th. And so as that questioning took place, that was outside of jurors' ears, and they're still trying to figure out whether or not she will be able to talk about how her feelings may have changed after September the 4th. You can see how some of these events, the defense doesn't necessarily want them in at this point. We will see how the judge rules. He should be ruling fairly shortly as her testimony continues. We're live outside of the Colleton County Courthouse here in Walterboro. Greg Adeline, WIS News 10.